Now, this one goes to the quality of argument. How good is the information presented, or how good the facts are to you? Yep. Next one, it's the peripheral. Issues, it's not personally relevant. You don't talk about issues at all. Sometimes you are distracted here and there by the lightnings, by the books around, okay? Or by the people walking past, okay? And the message that you got is often incomplete, yeah? Now, but then what do you focus on? You focus on the source attractiveness. Is he tall enough? Is he handsome enough? Okay? Or the expertise. Now, when I ask an uncle to talk about the need to brush teeth, and when I invite a dentist to talk about the need to brush teeth, now which one would you pay more attention to? Of course, it is the dentist. Okay, you would hear less much on the person. Yeah. Next one, it's the number and also the length of argument. The number and the length, which is the context of the communication, and also the consensus. Consensus hereby means, do other people agree? Now, if you have a group of people, especially, let's say, the voting process, the election that we have, okay? Now, if you're standing around a pro-government group, of course, naturally, your attitude, somehow you'll be persuaded to believe in the pro-government, okay? But then when you're surrounded by your anti-government a group of people, okay, for sure you'll be persuaded to believe more in them too. That's why they have a lot of campaigns going on, because through campaign they can actually be part of you, be part of the society, and then that's how they can persuade you. Now, before election happens, one thing they like to do is they like to go to the village and they like to mingle around. Yeah, that's how they want to persuade you to change. And especially when the prime minister or the leader of the party come to that area, they become more convincing. Okay, they become more persuaded in their message. Now, some issues that we talk about, some people would argue, politics, money can buy a vote. How do I say that? Now, I'm not talking about bribing. I'm not talking about corruption. Okay. Here, when we talk about money, it means that how much money do you engage in your voting? That's why the EC would set up a limitation of money to set up the campaign. Let's say 200,000 or 50,000. This money they used to make flags or banners and they put around the place, okay? Now, when you're surrounded by so many flags, when you're surrounded by his face, the candidate's face, you would somehow be influenced, okay? Unless your conviction is strong enough that when you see the flag or when you see the person's face, you would totally just disregard it, okay? Only if your attitude is strong enough not to be challenged by new things around you. And also repetition. Sometimes when people say repetition, if you keep doing that, if you keep showing an advertisement for 6 times, okay, it becomes truth. People would believe what you say. So sometimes we argue about truth becoming lies and lies becoming truth, and sometimes we just confuse between the two, what is right or what is wrong. Yeah, that's why people want to repeat. That's why it is important they keep putting up advertisement. They keep putting up advertisement about the government. Yep, that is how they persuade you to believe something. Next one we want to talk about is media. Media plays a huge role, undoubtedly, because media has the power to influence and also to change someone's mind. Yeah, and media in America is totally opposite from the media in Iran or Iraq. Why? Because media in America would always support what America does, and also media in Iran would always support what Iran does. Now, nowadays, we have the issue of North Korea coming to attack South Korea. Okay. Now, when you watch North Korea news, they would say that they are the victims. But when you look at the South Korea news, they would say that they are the victims, okay, of the shooting or the bombing or the sinking of the ship, of the South Korean ship. Now, which one do you believe, okay? Sometimes there is no right or wrong. As I've said, it depends on what kind of information that you get. So it's always better to get more and more information from different parties, from different aspects, yeah? Now, what media like to do right now is they want to focus on to children. That's why nowadays they have more and more advertisement for children, especially this morning. Weekends, if in the morning you would notice they would have a lot of cartoons being shown, and in between they would show advertisement on Barbie dolls or clays or toy cars, okay? These are the ways the children are persuaded to buy their products. They like the products, they would just pull the mom or dad to buy the products. Now the chances are how many % of the parents would reject the children buying it? What I realize is that more and more parents, they are really coming to spoil the children, okay? And just buy whatever they want, yeah? Next one is the teenagers in terms of smoking and drinking, yeah? Right now, what they're trying to do in the smoking campaigns, now, they have conquered the men population, the men market, okay? And then 20, 30 years ago, they have conquered the women's market, okay? Now they are encouraging the females to smoke as well. Right now, next, what do they want to tap into? Okay, the new market that they want to tap into is the teenage market. They realize that the teenage is a huge population and they could earn a huge buck from that. Now, how do they encourage people to smoke? First, apart from the influence of the peer, now what the media does or what the tobacco company does is that they even give free cigarettes for teenagers to smoke. Or they even give free drinks when they go to clubs or pubs, okay? These are how they would persuade the teenage to engage in a behavior that are beneficial to the producer of a company, yeah? Now, these are some of the issues that it's worth considering, or in terms of your life, how would you persuade someone, yeah? Now, the next one we'll look into is compliance. There are three things we'll look into, which is compliance, obedience, and another one here. The first one, compliance is responding favorably to a direct request by others which involve changes in behavior. Now, when you comply to someone, that doesn't necessarily means that you like the rule or you just happily obey it, okay? That because you are forced and you are compelled to do, okay? Now this one is even if we do not like it. Compliance happens only in the change in behavior. But in terms of your attitude, I don't think your attitude would change, okay? Would comply to it. Now, when coming soon, the petrol price might raise by 10 cents or 15 cents, okay? Now, you would comply to it. Of course, you must, okay? That's the rule, okay? You comply to it. Now, you won't like it, but you would do it. You would pay the extra. Why? Because you must. Somehow because you must, okay? Now, children, sometimes they don't like schools, okay? They don't like, you cannot bring liquid paper, you cannot bring handphone. Now, they don't like that too, but they would do it because they comply to it, yeah? Now, next one. Compliance is a changes in your behavior by direct request. It is a direct request. Your school requires you to do this. OUM requires you to finish your assignment on time. OUM requires you to have your exam. That is a direct request. It is not indirect, okay? It is not beating around the bushes. Next one. Norms of reciprocity. It means because you helped me once, I think I should help you back, okay? These are the things that people expect in this modern world. Now, when you help someone, I hope that you help is out of sincerity and not because you want something back. I notice many people, when they help someone, it's because inside their mind, when they help someone, next time I can get help from this person. Now, that is totally wrong, okay? Now, norms of reciprocity.